Customers definitely are getting sticker shock.
The cost of vehicle repair is rising, and there are several factors causing this. Heavier, more complex vehicles, new materials and manufacturing methods.
There's something magnetic about exotic cars and high-end luxury machines. They don't just move us from point A to point B. They symbolize engineering ambition, status, and dreams made real. When we see a Bugatti streak down the road or a Lamborghini growl through city streets, it sparks a reaction unlike anything else on wheels. These machines are marvels, but they come with a truth many don't realize until it's too late. Ownership can feel less like living the dream and more like financing a nightmare. Behind the gleaming paint, roaring engines, and futuristic technology hides a world of fragile components, astronomical maintenance bills, and headaches that stretch far beyond the showroom price. For some owners, the excitement of driving away in one of these legends quickly turned into financial devastation. Today, we're diving into 13 cars that left their owners reeling. Machines that could thrill on the open road, but drain a bank account overnight. Number 13. Bugatti Veyron. The Bugatti Veyron is not just a car. It's a physics experiment wrapped in carbon fiber. At its core is an 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine that produces an almost absurd amount of power, pushing the car well past the 250 miles per hour barrier. It was a marvel of engineering when it launched, and to this day, it still feels like it landed from the future. But the true story of the Veyron begins after you've parked it in your garage. Owning one is a masterclass in financial endurance. That first oil change? Forget the $100 trip to your neighborhood mechanic. The Veyron demands $20,000 to $25,000 for the privilege, thanks to the fact that the entire rear section has to be dismantled just to reach the engine components. Tires add another layer of pain. At high speeds, safety is paramount, so Bugatti specifies custom Michelin rubber that runs about $38,000 for a set. The twist? They insist the rims must be replaced every 10,000 miles, at a cozy $50,000 each time. Skip it, and you're essentially gambling with physics at 200 miles per hour. Insurance, storage, and routine servicing combine to create an ownership experience that even the ultra-wealthy sometimes reconsider. The Veyron isn't just a vehicle, it's a commitment. Few supercars truly earn the title of engineering masterpiece, but this one does, while simultaneously bankrupting the unprepared. It's the kind of machine that makes you question not whether you can buy it, but whether you can actually live with it. Number 12. Lamborghini Countach. Few cars scream icon like the Lamborghini Countach. Its sharp wedge design, scissor doors, and naturally aspirated V12 turned it into a poster legend of the 1980s. For enthusiasts, it represents an era when excess and style reigned supreme, and Lamborghini was rewriting the rules of automotive design. Yet bringing a Countach into modern ownership is less dream and more endurance trial. These cars are now decades old, and age has not been kind. Spare parts are rare, often custom fabricated, and mechanics who truly understand the intricacies of vintage Lamborghinis are few and far between. That scarcity alone drives costs to dizzying heights. Cooling systems are one of the most notorious weak points. They were never designed for prolonged idling in traffic, meaning overheating is a constant threat. Clutch replacements are frequent, with costs hovering around the $10,000 mark, and gearboxes have a reputation for being temperamental. One collector reportedly poured $50,000 into repairs just to keep his Countach running reliably. A story that resonates with many owners. The driving experience itself is unapologetically raw. Visibility is nearly non-existent, the cabin is cramped, and ergonomics were clearly an afterthought. But these flaws are part of the Countach's mystique. It's a car that asks for compromises and punishes wallets, yet still delivers a thrill unlike anything else from its era. Owning a Countach today is less about practicality and more about dedication. For those willing to endure the unpredictability, it remains one of the most visceral connections to Lamborghini's history. But for anyone expecting reliability, it's a sharp reminder that sometimes dreams demand more than admiration. They demand a fortune. Number 11. Maserati Quattroporte. The Maserati Quattroporte arrives with an irresistible promise. Italian styling, Ferrari-influenced engines, and the practicality of a four-door sedan. On paper, it looks like the perfect blend of passion and utility. But ownership tells a very different story, one paved with receipts. Unlike its German rivals, the Quattroporte was never designed with durability at the forefront. The tightly packed engine bay means even a simple repair requires hours of labor. That translates directly into inflated bills, as mechanics must often dismantle half the car to reach basic components. And because Maserati designs many parts uniquely for their models, replacements are expensive and rarely available off the shelf. Electronics are another notorious sore spot. Owners frequently complain about failing infotainment systems, stubborn warning lights, and other mysterious gremlins that refuse to disappear. Suspension issues pile on further, with repairs running into thousands, and major engine problems can easily hit 5 figures. Depreciation only adds insult to injury. Quattroportes lose value quickly, drawing in unsuspecting buyers who see a second-hand luxury sedan at an affordable price. The reality sets in once the repair bills start arriving, and suddenly the bargain doesn't look so attractive. Still, there's no denying the appeal. The Quattroporte offers a soundtrack unmatched by most sedans, with engines that roar and styling that commands attention. Slip behind the wheel, and it feels special in a way few competitors can replicate. But that magic comes with a warning label. Unless you're prepared for ongoing expenses, the Quattroporte's beauty may prove fleeting. It's a car that captures hearts but tests patience, proving that in the world of exotic sedans, elegance often comes at a relentless cost. Number 10. Tesla Model S/Model X. Tesla redefined the idea of what a car could be, with blistering acceleration, minimalist design, and tech-heavy interiors. On the surface, maintenance seems refreshingly simple. No oil changes, timing belts, or exhaust systems to worry about. But once the warranty runs out, the costs reveal themselves in a big way. The battery pack is the single most expensive component. Replacement costs can climb past $20,000, with some estimates even higher depending on the model and battery size. While Tesla designs its batteries to last, outliers do happen, and when they do, there's no such thing as a cheap fix. The drive unit, which houses the electric motor, has improved over time, but failures still occur. When they do, the repair bill can be staggering. Then there's the large touchscreen dominating the cabin, essential for controlling nearly every function of the car. Replacement costs for these infotainment units can run into thousands, leaving owners stranded when the system decides to give up. The Model X adds its own layer of complexity with falcon wing doors, While visually striking, they're packed with sensors and motors that can fail, turning a simple act of opening a door into a multi-thousand-dollar repair. Add to that the rapid depreciation many Teslas suffer, and resale value can evaporate quickly. Despite the futuristic appeal and thrill of instant torque, ownership becomes a gamble once warranty coverage ends. Teslas may not consume gas, but when major systems falter, they can consume wallets with alarming efficiency. Number 9. Land Rover Range Rover. The Range Rover project's unmatched presence, combining opulent luxury with genuine off-road capability. It's the SUV that looks as comfortable valet-parked at a hotel as it does crawling over a rocky trail. But ask any long-term owner, and you'll hear the same story. It spends too much time at the repair shop. Air suspension is one of the most notorious trouble spots. It provides that silky ride Range Rover drivers love. But failures are common, and repairs often cost several $1,000s. Then come the electrical gremlins, everything from glitchy infotainment systems to malfunctioning door locks. Cooling system failures also appear on the list of repeat offenders. Studies back up the anecdotes. A 2021 survey suggested that by year 5, a Range Rover owner faces a 20% chance of a major repair. By year 12, that figure climbs to over 80%. Few vehicles carry such consistent reputations for draining repair funds. Even if catastrophic failures are avoided, the steady stream of minor issues adds up. Transmission quirks, random warning lights, and inconsistent electronics can nickel and dime owners constantly. It's no wonder many say you need 2 Range Rovers, one for the road and one for the shop. For those buying new with warranty protection, the pain may feel manageable. But second-hand buyers chasing a bargain often discover that falling prices are a trap. Repairs can eclipse the value of the vehicle itself, turning a status symbol into a financial burden. Number 8. BMW 7 Series. The BMW 7 Series sits at the top of the brand's hierarchy, brimming with luxury, technology, and performance. It's a showcase of what BMW can do when money is no object. But that complexity eventually becomes the owner's responsibility, and the results are rarely gentle. One of the most expensive areas is the suspension. Many models use intricate self-leveling or air systems, which fail far more often than simpler setups. Repairs can cost several $1,000s, and failures are not rare. Add to that turbocharged engines that bring both excitement and potential headaches, and the risks grow. The iDrive infotainment system was groundbreaking, but it has been plagued by reliability issues across generations. Replacement modules or screen repairs often run into the thousands, and when the system glitches, the driving experience suffers dramatically. Transmission problems have also appeared in various model years, with repairs that climb quickly into 5 figures. Depreciation makes matters worse. A new 7 Series sheds value quickly, which might tempt buyers into the used market. But those bargain prices hide the reality. A car packed with cutting-edge tech that is very expensive to maintain outside of warranty. Some owners report annual upkeep costs that exceed $10,000, numbers more commonly associated with exotic sports cars. Under warranty, the 7 Series feels like a king among sedans. Once that safety net disappears, the same features that impressed on day one often become liabilities. It's a car that embodies luxury, but demands a steady stream of cash to keep its crown polished. Number 7. Mercedes-Benz S-Class. The Mercedes-Benz S-Class has long been the gold standard for luxury sedans. Every generation debuts features that eventually trickle down to more ordinary cars. Things like radar cruise control, massaging seats, and cutting-edge safety systems. For new buyers, it's like driving tomorrow's car today. For used buyers, it's often like inheriting a science project with a bottomless budget requirement. The active body control suspension system is a marvel when it works, delivering magic carpet smoothness and razor-sharp handling. But failures are all too common, and repairs can run into several $1,000s per corner. Even the simpler air suspension isn't immune, with compressors, lines, and airbags frequently causing headaches. Electronics are another major sore spot. The S-Class is loaded with modules controlling everything from seat adjustments to cabin fragrance systems. Each component seems designed to fail just out of warranty, and replacements can cost more than repairing a compact car. Wiring harnesses and sensors are notoriously fragile, adding more items to the unexpected expenses list. Then there's the infotainment. Cutting edge when new, it quickly feels outdated. And when it malfunctions, fixing it isn't cheap. Owners often report paying thousands for issues that might feel trivial on less expensive cars. Driving an S-Class remains a sublime experience. It glides effortlessly on the highway, pampers its passengers, and makes you feel untouchable. But once those futuristic systems begin to falter, it's less about enjoying the ride and more about bracing for the next jaw-dropping invoice. Number 6. Audi A8. The Audi A8 has always taken a different approach to luxury. Where the Mercedes S-Class flaunts technology and the BMW 7 Series leans into performance, the A8 opts for understated elegance. Sleek styling, a refined interior, and quattro all-wheel drive make it a favorite among those who prefer discretion. But under the surface, the A8 is a maze of costly systems waiting to misbehave. The adaptive air suspension is one of its standout features, smoothing out bumps with remarkable grace. Unfortunately, when it fails, and it often does, repairs can climb into the thousands. Add to that the complexity of Quattro's drivetrain, and even routine maintenance feels inflated compared to rivals. Electronics are another sore point. From the infotainment system to advanced driver assist features, owners frequently battle a carousel of warning lights and glitches. Sometimes it's a faulty sensor, other times it's a failed control unit. Either way, labor costs soar because so many parts require specialized service and tools. Depreciation also strikes hard. A lightly used A8 can look like an unbeatable deal, costing a fraction of its original sticker price. The trap is sprung when repair bills start rolling in, often eclipsing the money saved up front. Despite the risks, the A8 delivers a serene ride, impeccable interiors, and enough technology to impress any passenger. But for buyers hoping for affordable luxury, it can quickly turn into a case of champagne taste with caviar costs. Number 5. Fisker Karma/Ocean. Henrik Fisker's vision was bold: create a line of electric luxury cars that married eco-conscious technology with jaw-dropping design. On that front, he succeeded. The Fisker Karma was one of the most striking sedans ever made, and the Ocean SUV promised to deliver sustainable luxury. But behind the styling was a harsh reality. Bankruptcy and instability left owners stranded with orphaned cars. The Karma, first launched in 2011, was plagued by software glitches, limited electric range, and reliability issues. When the company collapsed, so did the dealer network and factory support. Owners suddenly found themselves with cars in need of parts and expertise that no longer existed. Repairs became nearly impossible, and even routine service turned into a hunt for rare specialists willing to take the job. Fast forward, and Fisker's second attempt with the ocean brought renewed hope, until financial trouble resurfaced. Once again, owners were left worrying about the future of their investment. Without a stable manufacturer, even the most basic updates or recalls become a guessing game. Resale values have plummeted. Beautiful though they are, many Karmas and Oceans now sit unused, not because their owners don't love them, but because fixing them is either too costly or flat out impossible. Fisker's story is a cautionary tale in the automotive world. Groundbreaking design and good intentions aren't enough to keep a brand alive, and when the company folds, the owners pay the price. These cars remain stunning conversation pieces, but without support, they're more artwork than transportation. Number 4. Pontiac Aztek. The Pontiac Aztek has gone down in history as a design experiment that went very wrong. Its unusual styling earned plenty of ridicule, but the problems went far deeper than looks. Underneath that oddly shaped body was a vehicle plagued by poor build quality and questionable engineering decisions. Mechanical reliability was inconsistent at best. Owners reported frequent issues with transmissions, electrical systems, and cooling components. Interior materials felt cheap, and panel gaps gave the impression of a car that was rushed into production. Pontiac aimed for versatility, even offering a built-in tent for camping, but what buyers got was a crossover that often failed at basic dependability. The situation worsened when Pontiac itself shut down in 2010. With the brand's demise, factory support disappeared, leaving Aztek owners scrambling for parts. Certain components became increasingly difficult to source, driving up costs for even routine repairs. Combined with rapid depreciation, many owners found themselves stuck with cars worth almost nothing but still expensive to keep alive. Ironically, the Aztek gained a second life through pop culture. Its prominent role in television gave it cult status and even sparked renewed interest among collectors. But for those who owned one in real time, the reality was far from glamorous. The financial losses and repair frustrations overshadowed any novelty the design might have offered. In the end, the Aztek became a case study in how poor execution and brand collapse can devastate owners. It may be remembered fondly as a quirky cultural icon, but for many drivers, it was simply a money pit disguised as an SUV. Number 3. Saab 94X. The Saab 94X should have been a fresh start for the brand. A stylish crossover with distinctive Scandinavian design cues, it was meant to compete against luxury rivals in a growing segment. Instead, it became a symbol of Saab's final collapse. Production numbers were limited from the outset, and when Saab declared bankruptcy in 2011, support vanished almost overnight. That left 94X owners with virtually no dealer network and minimal access to replacement parts. Even something as straightforward as sourcing a transmission module could turn into months of waiting or costly custom work. The 9-4X was built on a platform shared with Cadillac, which might suggest easier repairs, but Saab-specific components made ownership difficult. Electronics and software updates were locked behind a brand that no longer existed. Mechanics familiar with the quirks of Saab engineering became scarce, and many owners reported resorting to salvage yards to keep their vehicles running. Resale values collapsed, turning what once was a promising luxury crossover into a liability. Buyers who thought they were investing in Swedish quality instead found themselves stuck with orphaned vehicles that nobody wanted to service or buy. The tragedy of the 94X is that it wasn't a bad car. On the road, it delivered comfort, style, and decent performance. But with the company gone, potential couldn't save it from becoming a cautionary tale about the risks of tying your wallet to a struggling brand. Number 2. Chevrolet Vega, 1971 to 1977. The Chevrolet Vega entered the market with enormous hype. It was pitched as a modern compact car for an oil-conscious America, stylish, affordable, and efficient. But within a few years, it had earned a reputation as one of the most unreliable cars of its time. The Vega's aluminum engines were a particular disaster. Premature failures were common, often leaving owners stranded well before hitting 60,000 miles. Build quality was equally poor, with rattling interiors and inconsistent fit and finish. But perhaps the most infamous problem was rust. Vegas developed corrosion at shocking speeds, sometimes within just 2 or 3 years, particularly in harsh climates. By the late 1970s, the Vega's reputation was so bad that junkyards began refusing them, as they were nearly worthless for resale or parts. Owners who had once believed they were buying an affordable solution to rising fuel prices instead faced endless repairs and rapidly plummeting values. The Vega became a symbol of the dangers of cutting corners in automotive manufacturing. What started as a car filled with promise ended up tarnishing Chevrolet's reputation for years. It showed how quickly consumer trust can evaporate when quality takes a back seat. For many, buying a Vega wasn't just a mistake. It was a financial disaster wrapped in steel that dissolved far too quickly. Number 1. Vauxhall HC Viva Firenze, Canada, 1971 to 1973. When General Motors imported the Vauxhall HC Viva Firenze to Canada, it was meant to capture the small car market. Instead, it quickly became one of the most notorious automotive failures in the region. Owners reported a laundry list of serious problems. Brakes failed unexpectedly, engines overheated or caught fire, and structural weaknesses made the car unsafe. Reliability was so abysmal that frustrated owners banded together, forming an association to protest the company. Few cars have ever inspired that level of organized backlash. Resale values collapsed almost immediately. Within a year or two, Firenzes were often worth only a fraction of their sticker price. Many ended up parked, abandoned, or scrapped as repairs became too frequent and too costly to justify. The stigma was so strong that even the name Firenze carried a negative reputation in Canada for years afterward. The disaster highlighted the perils of rushing a vehicle into a new market without rigorous testing. While it looked like a practical compact on paper, in practice, it was a rolling liability. Owners who took the plunge discovered they hadn't bought affordable mobility. They'd bought an endless stream of repair bills. For many, the Firenze remains less a car and more a cautionary legend. It stands as one of the clearest examples of how poor engineering and broken promises can turn a new purchase into an instant financial regret. Owning an exotic, luxury, or rare car is often seen as the ultimate achievement. But as we've seen, that dream can turn into a financial nightmare overnight. From Bugattis that demand supercar-level maintenance just to stay on the road to orphaned brands leaving owners stranded, the risk of bankruptcy is real. These cars aren't just about horsepower or luxury. They're about costs that keep climbing long after the keys are in your hand. So, what do you think? Which of these cars shocked you the most with its repair bills or reputation for bankrupting owners? And do you believe the thrill of ownership outweighs the financial risks? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Your support helps us keep diving into the fascinating and sometimes brutal world of automotive history and ownership.